Hello and welcome to the Interlull special with the Gooners podcast. Mike is a Gooner. How are you, my bearded friend?
I am doing well. What is that your pleasantry that you're opening with today? Because we're supposed to open the pod with pleasantries.
In 30 minutes, we become rivals for a 3-hour period. The undefeated Colorado Avalanche travel into...
Former world champion Washington Capitals.
How many world champions do you have? How many world? I don't think you should call it world championship because I'm sure there are teams, there are teams outside of the U.S.
No, we're doing a dental. We were doing a dental podcast.
Don't you fucking yawn at us, judges?
Yeah. Dancing on ice. We have it over here. It's called dancing on ice. You know what I mean? But you have it here. It's called hockey.
It's called Petr Cech gets to play over there.
Have you been to an NHL game before?
I have never been. I've never had the pleasure.
Love it. You would
love
it.
I've never had the pleasure. Been in NFL, but never had the pleasure of the hockey.
NFL is not a pleasure. The hockey is. But anyway, we have Lee, co-host of the Same Old Arsenal podcast.
Jesus, Harry Kane just scored a beauty of a goal.
Like that. Yeah. He can be. Is it coming home? He can be found appearing on Arsenal Fan TV, where he's somewhat cultivated a reputation as being the normal one, and I say that
I like that. The sensible one. I like that.
Sensible one. Yeah, but that's by people who only watch on YouTube and don't actually know you. He literally creates clean sheets for a living. He's the Stefan Lichtsteiner of pronouncing players' names. It's Lee Judges. Welcome to another Interlull podcast.
Oh yeah, thanks for inviting me, man. So I just want to say, I'm not. Is this because you've lost a lot of weight? We're having these low streaming boxes or something like, you know what I mean? It's to show that because you look like half the man that I used to see. Like that's better, like you know.
Yeah. Well, now it's better for us because we can do this.
Yes, we can block it.
We can cover up that butt.
Yeah. As usually, Lee is a power bottom.
Lee, I have a legitimate question for you.
Yeah, go on.
In all your years in your industry and field, how many times have you A, stolen clothing, or B, clothing has sat there long enough where you said, "This is mine now"?
I've never.
It's happened.
Do you know what? You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. I've had I'll tell you a little story. One of my mates had to go to a funeral and he couldn't find his suit, his black suit. So he phoned me up. I'm not going to mention his name. He said, "Lee, I'm in a bit of trouble here. I need to go to a funeral. Is there any chance I can borrow a suit from the shop?" So he come down.
Now, how did they find a suit that big to fit Tony?
No, it wasn't something like that. But
the ankles were up to.
He had to go on stilts, you know what I mean? But like, no, and seriously, so I had one of my mates, Adrian. Anyway, he was trying on all suits we managed to sort him out with one, and he went to the funeral and brought it back. We cleaned it and charged whoever it was £10 for the privilege.
All right. I have a problem when I come over to England for 3 weeks, as I'm planning on doing again in March. It is not easy to fit 3 weeks worth of clothes into essentially a 20-kilo baggage allotment.
No, it's definitely not.
I think we've just solved that problem. I'm going to bring like 2 outfits, and then I'm just going to
just bring your toothpaste and a couple of pairs of underpants. I'll sort you out. I'll tell you that. I'll sort you out.
Underpants is a couple too many.
Mike, it's not what you know; it's who you know.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I say the other one is in suits. What you seem to get is like. So if we go to like the old bow tie parties, everybody puts because they're a little bit uncomfortable, aren't they? They put the oh no, who's yawning? You know what I mean? So they put their little bow ties in the pockets. Of course, they fly off. Jesus Christ! And I've got about 500 bow ties, and people are always coming in saying, "You got a bow tie? I can borrow." Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'll have one. Like, you know, so. There's another one.
You're the most ethical of people in that industry. If anyone's listening to this and can't see it, there are going to be a number of reasons today why, if you listen on iTunes or Stitcher or on your phone, you should occasionally check out the pod by video. A, then you won't get to see the beautiful Lee, but B, the things we're laughing at are visual gags. So you're only getting half of the entertainment. Andy, I heard one more terrible thing this morning, and I need you to dispel this rumor. Is it true that you're planning on deactivating your Twitter account in the next 48 hours? I've heard this everywhere. Okay.
Just can't be asked.
I asked you to get the most famous Lee on Twitter, and you came up with judges. We need to start communicating a little better. We do plan on having Ola join us because it's really not a Interlull podcast without Ola. But apparently he has a job and has to take care of it. So, Grant, happy birthday, Grant Wilborn in the chat.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
You're turning 30. I don't really have a whole lot of sympathy for you, but I will give you the shout out because
we don't believe you.
Let's also give a shout out, Mike. We've got some sad news. B, our podcast son, has fallen ill to throat AIDS, and
it was herpes last week.
He can't overcome it, and he was supposed to be with us, but he's at the doctor's trying to get like a antibiotic or cream to put on it.
Cream to put on his throat, which is the inside of your neck.
Yeah, but we wish him a speedy recovery, and we miss him.
Yes, we do. He is part of this podcast, and did masterfully in taking care of my absence a couple weeks ago when I had other things going on. So, since there's no game to talk about, a couple general talking points. First of all, what the fuck is going on in Bulgaria right now?
Oof.
I mean, besides the fact that it's coming home, I didn't think Bulgaria was one of those countries that it was so poorly. I mean, we have a strong Bulgarian listenership. I'd invite you all to leave, please. If you're
let's just say it's a small group, but they need to do better to get this, because I think before the match even kicked off, there were suggestions that this was going to happen, and the FA of Bulgaria, whatever they call it, need to do a better job getting these fucking idiots out of the stands.
Yeah.
What's happening like then? Is they being racist and all that then?
Big time, like really bad. They had to stop the match twice. I mean, they were
towards Tyrone Mings, towards
Sterling. Sterling has scored 1 goal and provided 2 assists to shut up the haters, but they're doing the Nazi sign. They're holding up just terrible T-shirts. I mean, it's bad. UEFA have to step in at this point.
Shocking.
Yeah,
it's a shame because I remember growing up in the 80s of Bulgaria, and that was a fantastic side coming through. Like Stoichkov. Oh, what a player! You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous that they're doing things like that and just bringing the country down, and also football. You know, so they need to be chucked out now. It's as simple as that. They're not.
That's what I'm saying.
Not even good. So get rid of them.
Just ban them all together.
But you say it like it's almost like the next logical step. But when have we ever seen FIFA or UEFA take the next logical step in anything?
Well,
they haven't,
involved, right?
You play an ineligible player, which is on a technicality where something weird happens, and then you're banned. But this stuff, nothing. Anyway, don't want to dwell on the negative. At least it is coming home. Quite clear.
England are winning 6-0,
as they should. That's pretty. MVP of the season so far. Let's bring it to Arsenal here. Lee. A lot of people to potentially choose from. There's kind of seems to be a popular answer, but I'm without framing it too much for you. Who's your MVP so far for Arsenal this season?
Granit Xhaka. What are you laughing at?
Well, there's a number of things I could choose to laugh at right now, but I think the funniest one is Granit Xhaka.
It's out of 2, isn't it? To be honest, it's out of 2.
Okay. Are we to guess?
Pierre, Aubameyang, and Guendouzi.
We'll get back to that later.
Matteo Guendouzi are the 2 standouts.
Nacho Guendouzi.
Followed by Callum Chambers. I think has been the 3rd.
Really?
I mean, every time he's played for the Arsenal, he's played well, which is more than what you can say for everybody else. Even Aubameyang's had a bad game, which was against who did we play on last game? At Bournemouth. That's so forgettable, that game. I forgot about it. But we played Bournemouth. I thought that was probably Aubameyang's worst game. But he's entitled to that. I think he's been nothing short of outstanding for us. I really do. And not just his goal scoring. I think the penalty he gave to Pepe shows that he's a team player as well. I thought that was a fantastic thing to do. He's not selfish because, can you imagine Harry Kane not giving up a penalty for a teammate?
No, there was a tweet about that. They're like,
no, I think that he's
that aren't his, and our guy is.
And I tell you, and I just think that he is one of the reasons that the Arsenal fans and the club has sort of got back to closer together. There was a little bit of camaraderie between the two again. I don't know if you've noticed that, but he come past the pub, the Tollington last game we played against Bournemouth, and the whole crowd are singing the song outside the pub. Like, he winds down the window.
Was he in the Lambo?
Yeah, no, he had I think it was a Porsche he was in. Like, you know what I mean? I can't remember what it was. It wasn't his Lamborghini, but anyway, he undone the window, got out, fist pumped him, bibbing his horn as he went past. It's just, I mean, I don't think no one would have done that a couple of years ago, and he just has been. I just think he's been fantastic for the football club and on and off the pitch. You know what I mean? Some players can do it on and not off the pitch, and some can, are more friendly because that's the way they are. But I just think that he does it on both. I just think he's great, and I'm a big fan of his. Even when he's entitled to a few bad games. The trouble is when he does have a bad game, he has a lazy game as well, if you know what I mean. But for me, I think that he's been fantastic this season.
Andy, who's it going to be?
I'm probably Echo Lee, Guendouzi, Aubameyang. I'd even throw Leno in there. I think he's had a good season up to a point. I know he had a couple missteps against Tottenham, but as Lee said, Aubameyang's not had the best of games. The only problem with Leno is when he makes a mistake, it's amplified 10 times because of the position he's in. But he's also kept us in a lot of matches. Chambers has been absolutely solid. He should never have left the squad, especially for that Liverpool and Tottenham match. So I think you've got 4 or 5, and all 4 or 5 have played great. What about you, Mike?
I'd probably give it to Guendouzi. I mean, just when you think about, 7 games we've played now in the league, and he's been man of the match, almost consensus man of the match for maybe 4 of them. It's starting to become a trend, and without him in the lineup, without him, I mean, his spark is just the work rate. Again, he's young, he makes mistakes as well. It's not so much about doing the right perfect, having the right perfect outcome every single time, which is a tall order to meet. It's about when things don't go right, you make up for it. When you don't just hang your head, you don't sulk, because that's contagious. That becomes an issue. You don't raise your hand constantly trying to get bailed out by the referee. You work, you run, you let your hair flop all over the place. And that, to me, that's a prerequisite. So I'm going to go with Guendouzi so far, but a lot can change. There's 30 more Premier League games left. Quick talking point. What did AC Milan see in Ivan Gazidis exactly? I mean, I don't watch a whole lot of Serie A, and I don't really even pay attention to it that much, but they're not doing so hot, are they? And again, I gotta apologize. Over last summer when Arsene Wenger left, I was giving Ivan Gazidis some high marks for finally standing up and kind of winning that battle and doing what needed to be done. But I had no idea how he was destroying the club from within before that. So, you said it right then. He had to go. And but I mean, AC Milan's turning on him right now. Do you have any parting words that you want to say to Gazidis? I mean, your friendship and baldness. I mean, does that mitigate any of it?
It gives bald men a bad name.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I'm glad that he's gone. And long may it continue. I don't, why he's in the job, like, you know what I mean? Why he's there? Like, let's hope they suffer even more, because I can't stand the bloke. He ruined Arsenal. Lot to do with what went on. It's also crazy. That from me, he allowed Arsene Wenger to be like, to lose a lot of dignity. I think, if it wasn't for him, Arsene Wenger would be what everybody. I think people are starting to come back around about Arsene Wenger now, because the pain's starting to go and realising that he's a nice guy, but he should never have ever been allowed to get that. never ever. And I blame Gazidis for that. Of course, if you as Arsene Wenger, of course you're going to stay as long as you want because that's the way that it is. But so I put it all at his door, and when he went, it was a good day in Arsenal's history. I hope we never ever see him again.
Yeah, I mean, we've certainly upgraded. I can tell you. I mean, if you relate his position to where
Mickey Mouse would have been an upgrade, Mike. Come on, let's face it. Like, you know what I mean? So he's awful man. I'll tell you what I didn't like about him. I don't know. I've never met the man, but when he spoke, I just thought you arrogant. Do you know? I had no warmth. He had no warmth towards him. Do you know what I mean?
You kind of.
I bet you go to a party, around his house, and you have to buy your own beers. He's I don't like him. I'm sorry, like, you know what I mean? Can't stand the bloke.
And I knew that, which is why I brought that question to you.
Thank you very much. And he's watching porn, I think. Like, you know what I mean? He's doing something there. Like, you know what I mean?
Why watch porn when I've got you two to stare at?
Sure. You're basically, it's redundant at that point. I'm going to save this one for when Ola jumps on, Andy, because it has to do with MMA and boxing. But speaking of Arsene Wenger, and you're right, it does. I mean, in certain circles, it seems like there's kind of a whiplash effect where, and I'm not talking about the people who still wish he was our manager and are using that to criticize Emery and our style of play. I'm talking about, just the time healing all wounds, and now he's writing an autobiography. Which has been all the news the last few weeks. The press releases that the book will see Wenger discuss his career in depth, including the invincible season and the challenges of his later years at the Emirates. WNN, the publisher, said it would be backed by an integrated, dynamic, and impactful marketing campaign. So, Lee, you would have the inside knowledge on this, but is it true that his first media appearance is going to be to promote the book with troops and DT? Is that being considered by the?
Because he'd be absolutely mad if he does. You know what I mean? So, listen, I think it's going to be a fantastic read if he tells it how it is.
He won't, though. That's the problem.
That's the problem, isn't it? Is he going to say? Is he going to leave it out, hang out people to dry, which he should do? I think that he should, because I think that people have done it to him.
I made the comment yesterday, Lee, in a WhatsApp group with some friends that outside of saying he's like a new signing, his second favorite saying was, wait for my book. I'll wait for my book, or I'll write it in my book. And there's so many things, in areas of which he commented on that in press conferences, that it's like, you want this to be a tell-all. I just don't think it will be, because he's such a stand-up human being and he's got such strong ties with so many people in the footballing world, and he's probably not done yet. So he's not going to throw people under the bus. So I just don't think he will give us a tell-all.
I don't see him as being that kind of person. But then again, you flash back and there he is shoving referees and pushing.
But that's in the moment when you're not thinking clearly.
Look in the moment, then, like, people should like throwing abuse at him, and while he's
in the shower or waiting in line, a long queue at Waitrose. What was your thought on this?
Exactly, you got to catch him at his most vulnerable. Tell us, where he's talking about people being disgraces to their federation. Speaking of the Joe Zalak, one of our listeners, the real Joe Zalak, not the one that you're thinking of. Has a question about what the title should be of this book. Now, the title's already been announced, My Time in Red and White, but there's so many potential titles. I think one of them was just put up in the chat, called Arsene Wenger. I
nearly signed, yeah.
And then it's just a book full of the world's best football players that never played for Arsenal.
I think it's a fantastic name, though, didn't you? Like, they've named it, like, My Life in Red and White. I think it's fantastic. Yeah. I think it's very, very clever.
This is a good one. Mike Hernandez says, Judge me in
May. Yeah.
The big picture of your face on the front.
Yeah, well,
And Theresa May.
For me, it's always going to be bittersweet with Arsene Wenger, because, I look back at what he'd done. It was absolutely fantastic. But I do feel that the last couple of years were painful for him, painful for everybody at the club, and he didn't deserve that. He deserved to be more thought of than he actually is. You know what I mean? A lot of people are still blaming Wenger for our poor form now. Oh, it's all because of what he done 2 years ago, and it really gets on my goat. You know what I mean? When someone like Brendan Rodgers turns around Leicester in a worse state than ours in 6 months, but it's all Wenger's fault. And listen, I think that it was always a pleasure to listen to him up until the last 2 seasons as well. And I'm finding it whenever there's a little clip of him now, I'm being drawn into listening to him again. The story about the zip, he was very, very good about that. And I'm beginning to love him again. And he was a fantastic manager for us and what he'd done and all that, but you couldn't get away from the fact that what happened in those last sort of couple of seasons. And his things been that fantastic since he's gone? No, they haven't, so it just shows you what a good manager he was. And I think that people ridicule and say, oh, his last 10 years to do what he done with some of those teams to get us in the top 4 was unbelievable. It's a magnificent achievement what he done. And that, he was pillared for that.
That's become so much more obvious with time. And the criticism he got for that should be retracted because it was truly
cruel.
We're seeing it now with Spurs, and they're already falling apart. Granted, there's not 4 years to look back on and say that was the exact same. But I mean, it's clear that what he was dealing with and the results that he ended up getting from that, while it wouldn't have been able to, I don't think even he could have done that today because there's so many more. The fortunate thing was that there were really only 4 super, super strong teams at that point. And now there's 6, maybe 7.
I don't know. Spurs were a force. I look back at Mike. When they had Gareth Bale, they had Modric, they had Van der Vaart in that side, Adebayor up front. They had some serious players at that moment in time, Tottenham, and on a couple of occasions. And I thought that was as good as Spurs side as what they got now with some fantastic players. And we still got above them with the likes of Bentner, Shamak, Denilson in midfield, Senderos at the back. Come on, Giroud at the back as well. You know what I mean? Well, they were all good players, but they weren't great players. And consistently, all right, we didn't win nothing, but he got us into the top 4. It was pillared, really. He was. Now, if you get in the top 4, it's a fantastic achievement. Now, if Emery gets into the top 4 this season, gets 4th, right? And you say it's a great. I think it's the worst Man United team I've seen for a very, very long while. It's the worst Spurs team in the last 10 years. Chelsea are not going to be as good as what they are. If he gets into the top 4, what a magnificent achievement that'll be like, So I think that Arsene Wenger got a raw deal by everybody, and now all the press are all back on his side a little bit. Do you know what I mean? And I felt that they was ready to dig in there, like us fans were as well. I think we was fueled by the press. Fueled by that as well, fueled by everything really, and what's it? It was like a snowball effect. The momentum kept going, and people generally hate Arsene Wenger now, and I could never do that. You know what I mean?
I think there's 2 camps to that, though, Lee. Right? There's the I'm not going to say the older generation like us who were there from day one, but I think we're a little bit more accustomed to the. Like you said, you're kind of on like this fence with him because you were there through the good times and through the bad. And if the bad started off in the beginning, but ended on a high, we would have a completely different outlook at this moment. However, it was flipped, right? So he started on this high and then it kind of degraded over time.
Yeah.
And I think the frustration with that is we all saw what could be done to fix it, but it never was.
No.
And he's such a smart individual that I hope this book outlines why he couldn't have done that.
Exactly.
And puts clarity to that, because then we can all put to bed the reasoning. And that's why I don't think we will hear, stories of the board fucking him over or Ivan.
Yeah.
But I will say this. In 10 years, 15 years from now, when we can completely dislodge him from what we're seeing on the pitch today, because a lot of these players are still his players, I think the momentum behind whether or not he's an icon and legend to the club will be a no-brainer and a no question. I think to a lot of people, he isn't a legend at the club anymore. And if you took like a poll, I bet they're all 27 and below in age. So I think that if you flip-flopped his career, we would just be talking about him in a different light when we are quick to forget about the history of when he joined the club. But a lot of those people weren't supporting Arsenal at the time. So it's a weird one. But I hope the book gives us some clarity as to why we had these promises and they were never met. I think that would be ideal.
Do you know? Yeah, and I'd love to see that would happen. It would come into the book that he was, held back by certain things because, said like, oh, I wanted to get a midfield player, but I wasn't allowed. I had to go for a cheap option. Blah 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 blah. But also, you know, when you look back on Arsene Wenger, people like Ferguson, Mourinho, all of them sort of guys sort of mellowed to Wenger because they knew he wasn't the force that he was no more. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like he wasn't. So they all become like pally, but they would never have been pally with him.
Wasn't a threat to their fight, to their legacy or their will.
Yeah, because he'd gone. You know what I mean? And I thought that was a telltale sign as well that they all of a sudden decided to stop being enemies. And once you've done that, it said it all. It said it all for me, like, you know. And you know, you look at the Man United Arsenal game just gone. They're nowhere near the intensity it used to be because the simple fact is it's not the big game no more. And it was the same with the managers, you know. And it's just such a shame, but that's how it went, you know. And
I doubt he signed an NDA.
A question from Matthew D'Souza. Again, for our listeners that aren't watching the screen, would Wenger had to have signed an NDA? If he did, it'll be about 2 years when this book comes out since that. So maybe it was a 2-year NDA. Who knows? You think?
I doubt it, though. I mean, at the time that a lot of this was happening, the Cronkies weren't the sole owner of the club, and so why would they make him sign an NDA upon, you know, maybe there's an NDA signed about why he got let go or whatever that is, but I can't see that.
Yeah. Something like that. But as for talking about what happens, you know, 3, 4, 5 years ago, I wouldn't think so.
No.
So charity has been a big topic on this podcast, and Lee, you've been a welcome contributor to that. Now, I don't remember back to when this was all decided, but I don't know if you actually offered to do this or if I just kind of said that you were doing it so many times that I convinced myself that you agreed to it. But you were able, with your help, we were able to raise literally $5s of dollars for cancer. It was the most popular item on the Gooner auction, but it was purchased, and therefore it's time for the to come home to roost. We have two things that we have for you to do today. If you would be such a good sport to do that. As we know, Judges loves to study and hone the pronunciation of football. So we've worked on I have worked on a starting 11 for you to pronounce, and we just want you to don't think about it, don't overthink about it. We just want you to basically be the announcer for this. Okay.
Okay.
So Lee, the situation is you're on live television, kickoff's about to start. You've got 15 seconds to go through this 11, and here we go.
All right. So Gooners versus Cancer and the Gooners podcast proudly present Lee Judges attempts woefully to pronounce a starting 11. First player in the starting 11, we have, I spent a lot of time on this, the goalkeeper. Now, with the picture, do we know who this is?
Right, it's a Chelsea goalkeeper.
Mike, this is going to take 50 minutes. If you're
All right, we're gonna whip through it. All right, who's our goalkeeper?
Kepa.
You got now. Come on.
Kepa Arrizabalaga.
I think I had one of those for breakfast this morning.
With cheese.
Right.
Well, right, come on. How do you actually? I wouldn't know. I know him as Kappa. Come on, everybody else known him as Kappa. What is his? What is that?
Andy,
I don't know.
You're the one.
Okay.
You need to be. Yeah, it's
This is your game.
Ariza Alaga is what I'm going to go with.
I think I've done all right there.
So
I thought Lee's was better than yours, Mike.
Yeah, thank you very much.
This game isn't can Mike pronounce it better. It's just can Lee do it. Period. All right. Now for our defense. I got to say though, by the way, what were you doing with your hand in this picture?
I don't know. I ain't got a clue.
World Cup live watch videos. I took a screenshot of this because I'm like, he does realize he's on camera while he's doing this. Right? All right.
Counting my change.
Starting with the right back. Do we know who this is?
That's Wan-Bissaka.
Okay. I wanted to start you off with an easy one.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
Wan-Bissaka. Okay.
Wan. Yeah.
Center back. You got all right. You're 1 for 2. Center back. Everyone knows this guy, but we're talking the entire name here. And we expect this to be exactly like Sophie does it.
Socrates. Papalopoulos.
Is there an L in his last name like before the very end?
Yeah, there's an L there.
He started with
Papa Pastalopoulos. There you go.
Okay, beautiful. All
Papa.
Right. Papa. Okay. The other center back we have.
It's not the other one, is it? It's not going to be the other Dino, is it? Surely. Please don't. Oh, God. That is Toby Alderweireld. Alderweireld. No one really knows his bloody name. Like.
How does that?
Toby.
When you look at that and you end it with D-E-N, this is
Toby Alderweireld. That's how they say it, isn't it?
Yes, that's exactly how it's pronounced.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right. Don't think about this one too much. This is our left back. This is a little bit more obscure of a player. For Red Bull Leipzig. Come on.
Imamable Depay.
Now say it quickly.
Amadou Depay.
Andy, how is this one pronounced?
I don't know. I've never even heard of it.
I'll tell you what.
All right, this
I can't even say Red Bull, let alone the rest of it. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm a bald OAP.
I'm a baldy old age P. Is that what it is? Like,
I'm a bald OAP.
I'm a bald old OP.
Tom Canton has like 50 more gray hairs because we can't pronounce this player's name.
This isn't a real player, by the way. I just tried to get Lee to admit that he's a bald OAP.
Oh, all right. Oh, so it's not such a real name, is it?
I mean, this one wasn't, but you know. All right, now for our midfield. This is the best picture, mostly because of the friggin'
That's where the half pints were.
The half pint has become passe at this point.
This reminds me. I was going through pictures of my phone the other day, trying to find something, and I've got like 50 pictures of Lee Judges, teacups, half pints, just generally looking gay, doing other stuff.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No. But
okay, at midfield, the base of the midfield, we have this guy, who I believe we were linked with in the transfer market at one point.
Oh, Christ. I'm glad we didn't get him.
PSG.
Grezagor. Whack.
I think I did that before I went to bed last night.
That's exactly what.
He comes from Poland, I know that.
Throat.
That's what B just had removed? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
All right, so it's one more time. It is
Gregor goals. Kreshevich. I don't know. Like, I mean, how does anybody know that? You know what I mean? I bet he don't even know himself.
Mother doesn't even know that.
No.
All right. Also at midfield.
I've only got one, right?
Oh, wait. This is backwards for somehow. Yeah, I think you got Wan-Bissaka. All right. This is there's a bonus point if you can name the team he plays for. Or I mean, you can name it because it's right there, but you have to pronounce it. This is a South African player who plays in Turkey right now. Let's have it.
Yeah. What that is his name at the bottom there.
His name is the first two, then the team is the rest of it.
Sipiwi. Tashabala. Tashabala.
I think it's probably
I would
pretty
say
close.
Sifawi Shabalala.
Shabalala.
Shabalabalawa.
Playing for your favorite Turkish team.
Oh, yeah.
You gonna go for that one?
No.
Buya Sehir Beliadai Erazum. Can you imagine like chanting that in the crowd? Like, you know, like people go, Arsenal. Like, what if that was the team that you were?
I wouldn't have signed for them just on the basis of that name.
Yeah,
Who'd you play for? Like, you know, I ain't got a clue. I'm just playing Turkey.
All right, the next midfielder we have for you. I think there's 4 more now, and then we'll be done with this, and you will have earned your. All right, here we go. From Olympiacos.
My khaki's dirty.
It is. Wait, Lee.
My khakis. Hurty. I think you miss out the D in that, don't you, in the Greek?
This guy pronounces his name all as one name, though. You have to just do it really quickly.
This is another made up
My
one.
khakis dirty. My khakis are dirty. That's unbelievable, that is.
I would have thought that you're in the cleaning business. You would have cleaned yourself. But...
No, I don't know. It's certainly not. They were clean.
Okay, here we go. The forwards. Andy makes me put that in every podcast.
I do not.
Ever since he's had the beef with me.
I tell you what, lucky I've got a sense of humour, innit?
All right. I can tell you the last 3 are real.
Jesus Christ. Jacob.
There you go.
Balalaski.
Balalaski is what you're going with.
Leszczkowski.
Balashkowski.
I think Drew would probably...
Balashkowski. That's what I've done it. Jacob Balashkowski.
Balszczkowski.
Balszczykowski from Wisla, Krakow. Okay.
Polish as well. Good
Yes.
for
A lot of these guys are either Polish or made up.
Yeah, good.
Here's your other forward.
Oh, Depaya.
What did you think, Depaya? All right, let's have it.
Yevhen. Lakacha. Conor Lapakaka.
I just spat my fucking drink out.
Welcome to the podcast, Ola. We are 10 ways through the starting 11. You've missed a couple of them here, but
listen, Ola, I've got Van Sacker. I got that right.
Yeah, I gave you one.
You guys are harsh given the jokes of spelling things.
All right, this has been the very successful, unpronounceable starting 11. Raised.
I've got 2 right.
You've got 2 right. I'll give you 2 others because they were completely made up. This was my favorite one. Ola, can you get this one? Hold on. There we go. Ola, have you heard of this guy?
No. Does he play for Stoke City?
It says Olympiacos right there.
Oh. Oh, yeah. My Kiki. My kinky. Why is he kinky? Hold on.
How's he got kinky from that off? I'm bad. You know what I mean? That's your brain, isn't it? No, you know what I mean? My Kiki's hurty. Dirty. My cocky's dirty. What do you mean my cocky's dirty? Ain't nothing wrong with my cocky.
So you don't watch any stuff. That's great.
Hold on. What's going on here? You see, this show is savage, man. Every interlull is savage out here. You know what I mean? What's happening, Judge? Mike, Surgeon, Mr. Rhodesy.
How's it going, buddy?
Now you get your introduction.
Yeah, man, good.
Welcome.
Evening, everyone.
Welcome back in, Ola. He's basically a hired gun. You can have him show up on your podcast. You can have him sleep on your couch. You can make him drive to Norwich in the middle of the night. You can
All of the above.
make him order a couple dozen beers simultaneously at the pub. He's even looked into his cuckolding services recently. He's a Scorpio. He told us very early on in our relationship that he's black.
Yeah.
Last name surprisingly, Shapiro Lukakowicz. It's Ola. Welcome back to the Interlull.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for finally joining us. So now Andy has a game.
I do have a game.
I had to tear through a lot of traffic to get here, so
we appreciate
forgive me for turning in late.
Andy, we have a game from Mr.
We
Andy.
do. Okay. I think Judges is going to crush this, but and I've worked really hard to try and get some hard people in here. So it's going to be Guess the Arsenal Player. I'm going to give you a clue. The first person to say stop gets to guess it first. You have to guess who the player is.
Can I ring my bell if I know who it is?
So Mike, if Mike says stop, he goes first, and then you can all go in order after that. Okay.
Okay.
So we're gonna do a warm up player here, right? And all I need to know is who the player is. So he was born in 1984. Don't ring the bell, Mike. Just say stop. All right. So he was born in 1984.
Keep going.
Is he Arsenal?
You can guess after each one, Ola.
All
and
right.
they're all Arsenal players. They're all Arsenal players.
Okay.
All right.
How old is he then?
No one's gonna guess. Okay, I'll give you.
Okay. Dennis Bergkamp. Stop, Dennis Bergkamp.
Incorrect. All right. He signed for Arsenal in 2004, making 168 appearances, scoring 10 goals.
Wait, when was he born?
1984.
1984?
Yes.
Theo Walcott?
Oh, you have to say stop before, but incorrect.
All right, stop. Theo Walcott?
No. Judges.
What was the second clue?
What was the second clue?
For fuck's sake. He signed for Arsenal in 2004, making 168
Stop
appearances.
Googling, Mike. I can see you Googling the hell out of Mike.
Right.
All right.
You get one guess per. You get one guess per hint. All right. Third hint. I have 3 international caps for the country of France.
Clichy.
Stop.
Clichy.
No, Mike.
Debussy.
No.
3 international caps.
He signed. Did you say he signed in 2004?
Stop. I'll go.
No, Mike. You get one guess per hint.
I get as many guesses as I want.
All right.
Okay.
Fourth, I've won the FA Cup twice and the Community Shield once.
Stop.
Ola.
He's only got 3 international caps. Gail Clichy.
I said that already.
No.
It's Ola's turn. You have to yell stop. So Ola, all right. It's not Gail Clichy.
It's not Gail Clichy. Abu Dhabi.
No. Good guess, though. Mike, you got one?
Stop looking at your phone, Mike, you bloody cheat.
I'm not looking. Look, my phone is right there. 158 10 goals.
I'm not repeating it. I'm not going to keep repeating. You're writing it down.
Stop.
Yeah, exactly. You got advantage over us, Mike, writing down the clues and hints. Come on.
Leonard Judges, you only get one guess per.
He was 98, wasn't he?
All right, I'll give you another hint. I've played in France, England, and Spain, all in their top leagues.
You have? Oh, fuck's sake.
Stop.
French.
Ola.
Segon?
No.
Pascal Segon?
No.
God damn it.
So the FA Cups had to have been, you signed in 2004.
All right, just do a quick one because we get one more and then I'm going to go to the next one.
Yeah, go on.
Well, you're not going to tell us the answer?
No, I'll tell you the answer, but you've got one more hint.
Right, I was going to.
This last hint, because they get easier as you go. So there's one more hint, and I think that's where you'll get the guess. All right. I scored Arsenal's last ever goal in their traditional red and white kit at Highbury.
You go first, Judge.
I'm going to go and get a pen.
Obviously not.
Stop.
Yep, Ola.
He just said stop. He had no.
Whoa, nobody else is saying stop.
All
Somebody's got to say it. Fuck it. Sylvian Wilton.
No.
Stop.
Okay.
Yep.
Jeremy Elielidea.
No.
I'll say that again, Judge.
Mike?
Jeremy who gives a fucking shit.
And I'm looking through the comments, and no one has gotten it in the chat group either.
No one's got it. I'm just going to go and get a pen.
Okay. Mike, who do you think it is? You're the last one.
He's French. He was signed in 2004, but stayed long enough to win the FA Cups. Because we didn't win. Signed in 2004, then he would have had one cup.
He scored the last ever goal at Highbury.
In the red and white kit.
In the red. Oh, in the
red and white kit.
That threw me. Why did you say that?
I did say that.
It's not like I knew the answer. It's not like I still know the answer.
All right. Do you want me to reveal who the player is?
Please, Surgeon.
All right. The player is Matthew Flamini.
I literally just thought of that.
I knew it.
All right.
It.
This next one's a good one. Okay.
How could I told you that?
All right. We know the rules now. That was the warm up. I was born in 1974. I'd also like to give an update that it is the Colorado Avalanche 1, Capitals 0. Eric Johnson. Oh, no. Was that Burkolowski? No, I think it was Eric Johnson.
No matter. We got to go.
Okay. I was born in 1974. Anyone? Quick, say stop. Guess.
Stop.
Born in 74.
So he's about 45, right?
Yeah.
All right, we need some speed.
Stop. Dennis Bergkamp.
No. Mike, Ola. Or next start.
Stop.
Okay.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop. So Campbell.
Fuck me. What a guess. This one
Did I just get it? Did I just get it?
That's me and my big mouth saying 45.
How about that?
Here are dude, I cannot, literally, I sent this to some other friends who listened to the pod. It took them forever. So here are the other clues. He started his career with West Ham, featured for country 74 times, scoring once. This was the big one. Before joining Arsenal, I amassed 255 appearances and scored 10 goals at club level. I had 2 stints at Arsenal. I was named in the 2002 World Cup All-Star team. I've won 1 League Cup, 3 FA Cups, 2 Premier League titles. Became what was then England's second youngest captain after Bobby Moore.
And Ola needed none of that. He just got it.
Just guessed it.
He has no idea who Matthew Flamini is.
Because I fire like that.
Yeah, we'll try
about that.
The first man just showed
on to the next one.
luck for him.
All right, we'll do a quick one, okay?
I don't need to get another one after the show's done. That's me.
I was born in 1968.
It's up to you guys now.
Yeah, go on.
Stop.
Yep.
Kevin Campbell.
No.
I'm going to go.
You didn't say stop. Don't go nowhere.
Stop. I did. Stop. Tony Adams.
No.
67, Tony Adams. 66.
I started my career with Arsenal Youth.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Paul Merson.
Fuck me. Good guess.
I was going to go with.
Yes, Judge.
But.
Come back.
He made 327 appearances for Arsenal. In 2008, he was ranked the 26th greatest Arsenal player of all time in a fan poll. Featured 21 times for England, scoring 3 goals. He won the First Division twice, 1 FA Cup, 1 League Cup, the European Cup Winners' Cup, and the Intertoto Cup with Aston Villa. He scored 78 goals with his time at Arsenal, and in 1989 he was named PFA Young Player of the Year. All right, this will be a real quick one, I think. He was born in
Mike. You got some catching up to do now, Mike.
I realized we had another one. Born in 1987. All right.
1987.
He made 86 appearances for Arsenal, scoring 18 goals.
Stop.
Yep. Lead judges.
Nicolas Anelka.
I was good, son. It was two less on goals.
Okay. I won 2 Premier League titles, 1 League Cup, and 1 Community Shield.
1 League Cup.
Stop.
More than likely wasn't with us.
Ola.
David Seaman.
No.
When was he born? 1919 when?
You just want to grab the pen.
Was it 1987? He was born in 1987, yeah?
Yes.
Right, okay.
I'll say.
So hold on then. So that
Nasri.
Mike got a point. All right.
Oh, really?
No way, Mike.
We have a tiebreaker.
I know my cunts.
The problem with
what was the rest of the clues? Tell us the rest of the clues.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Cunt was the next clue.
That was the last one. I was the PFA Team Player of the Year in 2010. I featured 41 times for France, scoring 5 goals. I won the Under-17 European Championship with France. In 2010, I was French Player of the Year. I played for 3 Premier League clubs, and I'm a fucking snake. That was a lot. All right, here's the tiebreaker.
By the way, you get comments in the chat like this.
This is
we get to know our listeners.
Here's the tiebreaker, quick and dirty. I was born in 1983.
I'm with you so far.
Stop.
Anyone want to? Yeah.
You were actually born in 1983.
I was.
You.
Emmanuel Adebayo.
Incorrect, and I would just like to announce that it is the Colorado Avalanche 2, Washington Capitals 0.
I'm about baseball today.
I made 213 appearances for Arsenal, scoring 4 goals.
Stop.
Oh, yeah.
I can only do it once. Oh, yeah. Scoring 4 goals. Kolo Touré.
No. Good guess.
Mike.
No. All right.
How many goals did you score?
4.
4.
I won 1 FA Cup and 1 League Cup.
Stop.
I have Ola.
Lauren.
No, good guess though.
Judges?
Cal Clichy.
No, good guess.
Stop.
PFA Team of the Year twice, 07-08 and 2010-2011. Ola. Guys, we're all on a point here. Nope.
I'm trying to win this thing.
I know. Mike wins.
What was he saying?
Oh, God. I knew it was that.
This Bakari Sangria.
That fucking hurts. Man. Oh, Mike, you cockroach.
It's not about who jumps out of the gate first. It's about who finishes strong, and I can finish.
Fuck you.
Who was it?
I can finish all over this podcast.
Here are the other clues.
His hair was shit, but we don't care.
I have 65 French caps, and I did a stint in the MLS playing for the Montreal, whatever the fucking name is.
Impact. I saw that. I saw him play.
Lee, it was Sangya.
You guys just got to get. You lost to a Yank just now. You understand that?
The Sol Campbell one pisses me off because that caused a lot of grief because the clues were so good. I was really tired to fucking guess.
All right.
Well, I should get 2 points for that then, shouldn't I? If that was...
You
First one was Fleming. No one got that. That was a good one.
All right.
That was a good one.
So the other fundraiser that Lee Judge has attached his name to, and I have a feeling he might ask for some help from Ola on this one, was that
Hey guys, hold on.
Is it 3 now?
Colorado Avalanche 3, Washington Capitals 0. And for those of us in the group who don't know what I'm talking about, Mike is a huge Caps fan. I'm a huge Avs fan.
And I'm skipping, and I'm not at this game in Washington because I'm with you guys.
Only 8 minutes have gone in the game.
Oh, dear,
You're gonna win 4-3.
Washington Wizards are about as good as Washington Redskins. Crap.
It's carnage, isn't it?
All right. So I thought it would be nice with Lee's distinctive voice and style, which is sultry and everything that you would want from a person's voice, to hear Rob, it was 5-1. But yes, to hear you kind of sex it up a little bit, and
he just got pulled.
And so we've learned about a certain website called the 50 Shades Generator, which generates random text paragraphs to be read in an English accent by people with no hair. So what we're going to do, because of the time, we're just going to ask you to get through one of these.
Okay.
All right. And once you get started, just keep going. You're not allowed to stop. We're going to have it randomly generate. And there we go. All right, so let's have it, Lee.
I can't wait to suck your. Well, I can't. Octopism? What's that?
Octoplasm.
I can't. I ain't got my glasses. From his womb, feral, is that? The mixture. Mr. Hanky. Mr. Hanky? What is that word there?
Ectoplasm.
Ectoplasm. In my is that office?
Office? Or
you could have made this a bit bigger. Created a delicious porthole pudding that was we so fond of. It was bliss having the devil's bagpipes stuffed. That's better.
Yeah, it's much better.
Oh, yeah, that's much better, having the devil's bagpipes stuffed inside me again, stuffed in my clam-flavoured pothole with my 9-iron, just didn't get my cavity surging like it used to. Within no time, I could feel the shitty, creamy load dribbling from my office all over my roast beef platter. I awoke the next morning with my whispering eye still dripping. I thought it was all over, but his slut slayer had other ideas. Bring it on.
Next week, joining us on the podcast, Josh Kroenke will be making a return, where we will play the pronounced. I didn't think you'd actually do that, Lee.
I like the bit about the 9-iron.
All right, you want to do one more?
No. I'm fine. Yeah, thank you.
You want one?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. But I can't promise I can't promise no English accent though. But
go ahead.
I'll try my best.
Go on.
Right, what we got here? Is this a new one?
It's a new one.
Can you zoom in a little bit more, or zoom out? Shall I say? Make it bigger.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Then I didn't really like that. You filthy bugger. You okay, yeah.
Oh, that's better, big boy.
Fucking hell, your mind is filthy, ain't it?
Jesus
Christ. Hold on. The feeling of this man fat dribbling down my throat. Got my mange mucus flowing quicker. That is not of a whip. Now I've been shot over more times than a. Hold on. What the fuck is that?
Sarajevo. I say that.
Oh, you know all about that, don't you, Judge?
Yeah, I know all about that. Shot a few times, yeah.
But the sight of his cunt stretcher made my beige slime drip like a broken fridge freezer. Fuck me. Hours of slamming like this would leave any girl's meaty bangers looking like a bulldog in the wind tunnels. Jesus Christ. And I was no different. Some girls are happy just to dial the rotary phone while they're alone. But I can't get off without having a 15-inch spiked vibrator in my chlamydia canal.
Hey guys, I just want to make
and my fist up. Fuck your update. I'm nearly
4-0.
there.
4-0, Mike.
I had my fist up my balloon.
How can you? First of all, that word is not.
And
how can you interrupt somebody's fist up with?
after having my fuck trench slammed, he then proceeded to pound my fudge factory.
Okay.
Oh, I will sleep good tonight.
That I'm not.
What
sure
a read!
This is
Fuck
the podcast, an interval edition. I gotta go because I gotta catch the rest of the 9-0 Washington Capitals game. That's gonna be a loss.
Russ, you old bastard! I see you in the chat, mate.
Yeah. So
Love you.
not sure what to call this. It was only tangentially about Arsenal, but the team will be back next week. We have a game Monday, Sheffield United, and if our next week's guest hasn't already decided not to join us, then we'll see you then.
Who could blame them?
Not a All right. Anything else anyone wants to add to this masterpiece?
I think we're ready. Oh, we're ready. Oh,
Okay. Yeah, we're all done. So come on, you Gooners.
Thank you, boys.
salute.